Hey guys, welcome back. We have plant mail to open. So very short backstory. It's my birthday week and usually I don't care about my birthday very much. Like I don't need a celebration. I don't need gifts. I don't need people to wish me happy birthday. I'm usually like, just come get me when it's Christmas. I don't care about my birthday, but I don't know if you guys are the same, but I get a little bit bratty around my birthday. So I like to treat myself and I just talk myself into like splurges around my birthday. And it's just like stuff like, you know, stuff that I want that make my life better. So I went on the Crystal Star Nursery website and then I kind of blacked out a little bit. I say kind of because at one point I had like $400 or $500 worth of stuff in my cart and I had to edit it down severely. If you're in Canada, you probably know Crystal Star. If you're anywhere else in the world, you might not, but they're located in Ontario. They're a family-run nursery. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I bought these things myself. They didn't ask me to do any of this, but they are just such a well-run nursery and they carry lots of weirdo plants. So whenever I want a weirdo plant, I usually look to them first and they just propagate from their own stock. They're not really like importing and like selling on. They typically keep their prices really reasonable by selling really small plants. That also keeps the shipping costs low. It's just like a very like cleverly run business. I really have a lot of respect for them. And also I've never heard a bad thing about Crystal Star. It's always just been rave reviews. I've ordered from them maybe like 4 times over the last few years. It's always been great. The plants are always in great shape. They're always appropriately potted for the size and like the substrate that plant should grow in. So it was really hard to edit down my cart, but I somehow did it. I think I got, let me see, like 7 plants or something like that. 6 or 7 plants. There's also a duplicate in here for my friend Anna that she just tacked onto my order. So I'm really excited to unbox these with you. I don't know that I'll repot all of them. I might repot the odd one, but because they usually will pot it in a way that like, they're gonna come potted and they always have it in an appropriate substrate. So they don't have it in like a shipping substrate. They don't unpot the plant and then like wrap it in sphagnum moss and then ship it on. So I'm thinking that not all of them should be repot. If I'm inspired to repot the plant, I will. Only because I want to make this video a bit longer. I've been posting pretty short videos over the past month just because I've been so busy and I just don't have the time to make longer videos. I also took on another job, so it's just been a little bit hectic trying to adjust to this new schedule. So yeah, that is the plan. Also, side note, this is my new wireless mic setup. Another one of my birthday splurges. I have been waiting to kind of invest in a wireless mic system for my channel for like a year. I had a few in mind, but then I just like, for some reason, I just went down this rabbit hole of like reviews and audio tests, comparisons and things like that. And I landed on this one and it's, I think, such a great mic. I did audio tests. I haven't used it extensively, but everything that I watched, I always like the audio on this mic the most. I'll be able to vlog with this thing and be less conspicuous. I can do plant chores, walk away, turn away from the camera. The audio will stay the same. So I really hope that the audio ends up good in this footage because I can't refilm an unboxing. Also, really quick announcement before we start unboxing. This Friday, August 2nd, 2 p.m. Pacific time, me and Charmaine are going live on Palm Street. This is gonna be a really fun one. It's a co-stream with Woohoo Tropicals. So Paulina and Josh are on one screen and me and Charmaine are on one screen. We're gonna do like show and tells. We might do some plant chores. I think we're gonna do the majority of plant chores on their stream. So it's gonna be our stream first, $250 of giveaways and site credits and like just chit chat, hang out kind of thing. And then immediately after that, we're gonna move over to the Woohoo stream, which we're gonna do more plant chores, more hangout, more show and tells. They're gonna be giving away 8 plants. I'm pretty sure they're all anthuriums. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they're all anthurium. And also that stream for Woohoo is going to be their monthly seedling sale stream, which I think is their most popular stream. They only do it once a month, but they release a lot of baby plants, really great prices. And we're just gonna hang out for like 2 hours. So I really hope to see you guys there. I will schedule the stream from my account, so it should already be up by the time this video goes up. So I'll leave it in the description. Please go and hit the bell icon. It would really help us out to make the live stream a little bit more visible. And if you have any requests for like what you wanna see or talk about during the stream, feel free to leave in the comments or just leave that as a chat topic, say in the chat. I will say from our experience last time, me and Charmaine streamed, the chat it was impossible to keep up with. It was just like going so fast. But this time we have 4 people. So me and Paulina were talking, and Paulina was like, we can tag team this. We can like have one person looking at the comments. We can help each other out if things are missed. So yeah, I'm just really excited for this one. I think it's going to be a really good time. I think time's going to fly. I think we all can talk for ages. So this Friday, August 2nd, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you guys there. Okay, how am I going to move the camera for this so you guys can see? I don't know if I mentioned this already. I feel like I talk so much already, but this week the weather has been dreamy. It has cooled down so much. I can bake, I can cook, I can go for walks outside. It's been so nice. And this box was shipped on Monday. It arrived to me on Tuesday. I feel like it shouldn't have been like too hot for it. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants. I really shouldn't have gotten so many, but it was really hard to edit this down. This is how the plants are packaged. I was thinking of maybe telling you like what they are, but I'm just gonna leave it as a surprise. There's a few bigger ones and a few little cubey looking guys like this. I think I have an inkling which ones they are, but I'm just gonna kind of go randomly. So this one, I don't know what it is. It just has a number on it, which I can match up to the number on the invoice or the packing. She's so cute. It's an orchid. It's an orchid. So I went on a little orchid shopping spree, which I shouldn't have because I really didn't want this many orchids all at once, but they're fine. I think I got some pretty easygoing ones. So this one is, oh, this one I'm really excited about. This one's Bulbophyllum medusae, and the blooms on these are just otherworldly, so cool. They remind me of dragon's beard candy. If you guys have ever had that, if you have not ever had dragon's beard candy, you are missing out. Don't eat it if you have a peanut allergy because they usually have peanuts on the inside, but they're so freaking delicious. It's the kind of candy that's very mesmerizing to watch someone make. People like to compare it to like candy floss, like cotton candy. It's really not the same. It's so fascinating to watch and it tastes so good. But anyways, this is going to be a very exciting one if I can ever get it to bloom. I've never owned Bulbophyllum before, but I think just based on all the things I've read, I can basically treat it like I do my anthurium. So this one is planted in sphagnum moss. I don't know if there's anything else in it. I don't think so. This is just straight up sphagnum moss. I probably could repot this. And if the other Bulbophyllums are like this, I will probably repot it as well. Okay, next one. I think I know what this one is based on the packaging size of that one. Yep. So this one's another Bulbophyllum. So these roots got a little bit dried out. The ones that are outside of the substrate, I probably will repot it. Like I want to do it in something wider. These little ones are, yeah, it's totally dead. There's some possibly salvageable ones over here, but these ones are all dried out. This one is, ooh, this one I was really excited for. This one is Bulbophyllum Elizabeth Ann crossed with Putidum. So this is what the bloom looks like. It has very beard-like. I don't know how to explain this bloom. It's like, how do you describe it? They kind of look like an air mattress. Yeah, like an air mattress that's made out of candy. So on their website, they will say like whether it's flowering size or not. An orchid expert would just be able to know. Certainly didn't know, but these are supposedly blooming size. This one's also in sphagnum moss. Again, like I said, the pot is probably too small. And I don't grow in sphagnum moss, so I'm going to repot these two. Oh, it's way bigger than I thought it would be. Look how cool this one is. And then look at the back. This one is so cool. It feels like a Hoya leaf. It's like very like hard and like matte. So this one is Psychopsis Mendenhall Hildo, and this is the bloom on it. It's so crazy. I don't know if I love the bloom. Like it's a little bit intense for me, but I like the foliage on this one the most. And I always said like when I was getting into orchids, I was going to concentrate more on foliage orchids. And so far that hasn't been the case. So I really wanted to make sure I get this one for the foliage because I actually think this foliage looks really nice. I really like the back of it. I actually like the back of it a little bit more but the front of it's pretty cool. So this one is, they said, a clone of the specimen that had the record for the longest sequential blooms. So this one will kind of bloom over and over again on the same spike. This one's mother plant held the record for blooming sequentially again and again over 10 years, I think it was. I don't really think that was the biggest selling point for me. It was more so the foliage. So this one's pretty cool. It's got a new leaf coming out over here. This one, I think this one could be repot because you can see it's really filled out this pot and it's in sphagnum moss. Once again, I think this one, because I can look at the roots and see that they're really thin and wiry. I've read that Psychopsis do well in tree fern. I think that's probably what I'm gonna grow it in. But this one is like really packed in here. It's like trying to grow out this side. It's really pushing on the sides of this pot. So this one probably could be repotted. Okay, so that's not the bulbophyllum. This one must be the bulbophyllum. Wait, so I got 2 bulbophyllums, the Psychopsis. Was there 3 bulbophyllums? Nope, sorry, I messed it up. This one is not a bulbophyllum, it's a dendrobium. It is so cute. Oh, it's so cute. Look at it. Look at these little leaves. Oh my gosh, this one is precious. I also don't own any dendrobium. So this one is okay, I'll just give you the label here. Why don't you guys just read that? I cannot read that. The reason why I wanted this one is because the blooms look like daffodils. And daffodils are kind of a big deal in this household because my boyfriend is Welsh and our outside daffodils only last for a few weeks in the spring, at the very start of spring, and there's like no daffodils for a whole year. So that's the reason why I got this one. And I just think they're really cute. Like they're like a very round daffodil. That really bright yellow would be really nice. So I think everything I got has very, very distinctive blooms. Like they're completely different from each other, which is really nice. I don't plan on getting any orchids anytime soon. That being said, there's the Vancouver Orchid Society, I think the annual show in about 3 weeks or so. But yeah, I only ever planned on getting 2 more and I got 6 more. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I think this is the one that is not an orchid. Yes. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, I want to eat it. So this one is a little cushion moss. I want to cultivate some mosses. I want to just get this like growing really wide, have a lot of moss to work with, because obviously I'm inspired by Benji and all his beautiful mosses. And I chose this one because it stays quite dense and compact. Like it just stays like this really compact little cushion, because I don't want the moss that grows really tall. Like sphagnum moss, like reanimated sphagnum moss I have, but they tend to grow upwards a little bit more and you have to trim them down. I don't believe you have to trim this one down. This one is Leucobrium glaucum. That's the tag. So this one I plan to grow in a dome most likely. I think this is potted. This looks like just kind of regular potting mix, like a peat-based potting mix with perlite added. So I threw this on as like a little add-on, like it's like an $8 add-on to hopefully grow into lots more moss that I can start dressing some certain plants with, because I think this one can survive outside of like greenhouse conditions. Okay, so the last 2 I mentioned in last week's video. I said it's like my top wish list orchid. So what happened was I ordered all these on Wednesday and it hadn't shipped out because they only ship out Mondays and Tuesdays. So I was a little bit sad that the wish list one that I had was sold out at the time. And by chance, I just went on Google and I was just like Googling like who even stocks this plant, because everywhere I was looking at was sold out, because I don't think they propagate easily, possibly. But I Googled it and then Crystal Star came up as one of the first hits. And I just clicked on it, even though I thought it was sold out, but 2 more came in stock. I don't know if someone canceled their order or whatever, but 2 more, it was perfect, because this is also on Anna's wish list. So I got 2 of them, and I will leave her the cuter one because she is way more of an orchid girl than I am. She has quite an orchid collection. It's so cute. It's so teeny tiny and it's so cute. They look like cornichons. These are actually so much darker than all the photos I had ever seen. They look really dark green, but every other photo I've seen of it looks like a very light green, but this looks like, it's like zucchini colored. This one is so cute too. I don't know, they're very equal, I would say, but this is the second one. They're slightly bigger little pickles. Let me just show them to you side by side. Hopefully it doesn't fall out. This one's slightly bigger. I might give this one to Anna and I'll just keep this one. They're both freaking adorable. Let me just get it out of this little, so it's planted in sphagnum moss in like a net pot. That's what it looks like. I'm not gonna repot these ones just because I'm gonna wait for Anna's advice on how to plant it. Every photo I've seen of this plant, it's mounted, and I am not going to be mounting orchids. I already know that if I mount orchids, it's going to be a death sentence for that orchid because I will not keep up with the watering for a mounted orchid. It's just not happening. I have killed every plant that I've mounted, so I'm going to be potting it up in substrate. I probably will need some sort of like net pot situation for airflow to the roots, and I'll probably do a mixture of like tree fern and bark. And actually, surprisingly, this moss is the wettest of every substrate that, well, actually with the exception of the moss, but the sphagnum moss is the most wet. So I probably will need to make sure that this dries out because I think this one will need to dry out. I feel like these ones will do with a more consistent moisture level, or at least like not as dry as the other two. I think I've already gotten rid of all my net pots. I think I just like gave them all away because I had no use for them. So I'm gonna leave these as is, my little dendrobium and cucumarinums. Literally, that was the shortest amount of time any plant has ever spent on my wish list, like 2 days. And also I'm gonna leave this one as well, the other dendrobium, because I think they're gonna want to dry out a little bit more. And then I will pot up the 2 bulbophyllums phylums and the Psychopsis. But yeah, overall, so excited about these plants. 10 out of 10 to Crystal Star. They just never disappoint. The plants are always so healthy, and I do appreciate that they send it out in the plant pot that they were already growing in. And I think that a lot of businesses will do this, but because Crystal Star pretty much deals exclusively in plants like this size, like 2-inch pots, 3-inch pots, it's a lot more feasible for them to do it all the time. And it also keeps the prices down. Their price is always super reasonable. If I haven't said it enough already, I just think that they're a great company. So if you're looking for plants like, I don't know, what have I gotten from them? I've gotten my Hoya e Brocheri. I ordered it a few years ago with my friend Erin. We both got ours at the same time. So you know Charmaine's e Brocheri, that came from Erin. So that was the same one that we had ordered together in 2021. Mine is like this like spindly little roadgrass looking thing, and that massive thing was Erin somehow growing it like a goddess. I don't know what she did. She had it growing in straight lechuza pond. She just neglects it. So I've gotten that from them. I got my booby cactus years ago from them when not a lot of people were selling booby cactus. Jing has ordered from them more often, and she has a bunch of weirdo plants from them as well. They specialize mainly in orchids, Hoyas, the odd Codex plant, lots of succulents and cacti. Oh, also I got my Dacaria madagascariensis from them. Just plants like that that are a bit unusual and hard to find. You will find them at Crystal Star. Anyways, I'm gonna set up my potting station. So I wanted to film this yesterday, but I was waiting for the package to come, and it was taking a little bit long time. So I was like, maybe it's gonna come too late and I won't be able to film it. So then I just started like ripping apart my garden. Like I have this section of my garden that I barely ever deal with, and it's just covered in like weeds, like invasive plants. There's like blackberries that have invaded it. So I just went in and just rage weeded the garden. And then I have like all these scratches from it. And also my back hurts so bad. Okay, I'm just bringing like everything, everything over. So, not you. Oh my gosh. You know, I do have these. That's basically like a net pot. I also have this, which is quite cute. Maybe this one would be good for the bulbophyllums. I just think that looking at this, it has more of like a crawling growth pattern. I'm going to need more width. These square orchid pots I love so much, but I just think it's just gonna be hanging over the side in no time. So maybe I'll do this one, maybe. Okay, we'll do the big bulbophyllum first. Wait, I need to fix the camera angle. Oh my gosh, my back really hurts. I think I need to take a bath later. because it's finally cool enough that I can take a bath. It just, oh my gosh, it really, really hurts. What was I doing? They do have really, really fine roots. Hold on, I'm gonna rehydrate this moss a bit. Just gonna spray it down a bit more. I just can't stand sphagnum moss. Typically with anthurium, I'm like very rough with the sphagnum moss removal, but I just think that this one, I'm gonna have to treat a bit more like a Hoya transition. I just don't know if it's gonna freak out. Luckily, it seems to be coming off okay. I'm just not seeing a ton of roots in the substrate. If there's a big cluster in the center that's not coming apart, I might just leave it. Okay, right in the center, I'm seeing some nice healthy roots, and the moss isn't coming off too badly, or like it's coming off fairly easily. Okay, so in the center is where the majority of the roots are. I'm not gonna fuss too much with the moss. Here, I'm just gonna take what easily comes off, and then we're gonna just leave some of this moss on. Okay, I think that's what we're left with now. I don't really think I've broken any roots. All this kind of came off fairly easily. So I'm using my tree fern mix on this, which is tree fern fiber, kind of like all the twigs and clumps and everything. And I have lechuza pon, horse perlite. There's the odd orchiata in here as well. The roots are so thin, it kind of reminds me a lot of Hoya roots. I feel like I had so much to talk to you guys about, but now I'm just drawing a blank because I got so excited that I got new plants. Another piece of exciting news, I made another little splurge on a new camera. So I've been filming on this camera for 2 years, and I still will continue to film on it after I get my new camera, but I wanted a more vlogging friendly camera. I might go into more detail on it after I've gotten it and used it, but I purchased one. It hasn't shipped yet, so I haven't been charged for it yet, but I also watched like endless review videos and just kind of people actually filming on it, vlogging with it, and it just looks like so much fun. In case you're wondering, it's the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I'm 99% sure I'm going to IAS this year, and I would really love to bring it with me. Hopefully it comes pretty soon so I can actually practice with it before taking it all the way to Miami, because it's another thing where you can't, like, you got to get it right on the first try. You can't really refilm anything for a vlog. So I'm super excited for that. Anyways, I think this one is about done. And they're gonna live in my cabinet, which is not like super high humidity. It's somewhat weather sealed, but I've taken some weather sealing off that was damaged. This is what it looks like now. I think I might put it in a cup. Maybe will this work? Yeah, that should work. And I forgot to get my great white. Hold on. It's so weird that I can leave the room and you can still hear me. I didn't add a little leca layer at the bottom. I just didn't feel like I needed to. So yeah, that feels good. That one's done. Oh, cannot forget the tag because I will never remember. This one's the Bulbophyllum medusae. The leaves on these are so thick. This one feels like it's more rooted. Oh yeah, it's definitely more rooted. Look at that. There's way more roots on this one. So I'll take my sweet time. Something else I'm quite looking forward to is next week, me, Jean, and Charmaine are just gonna go down to the States for a little day trip, which I haven't done since before the pandemic. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I haven't been to the States since before the pandemic, which is crazy. We live so close to the border, so it's so easy for us to go down there, but I just haven't. Charmaine wanted to take me to Target for my birthday. So we're just gonna take a day trip, go to Target. I wanna send out some plants while I'm down there. I definitely wanted to send some seeds to our friend Dania, who sent us her sweet little hybrid, her King of Spades red crystal, which is doing so well. Look at that new leaf fully hardened off. It's so round and bumpy and perfect. And she sent that to us earlier this year, just completely out of the blue. It was so generous, and I just wanted to reciprocate. So I want to send her a couple of seeds from our hybrid, the King of Spades, no, red crystal pork crossed with King of Spades. My King of Spades is fathering so many babies right now, so it has been successfully pollinated. Not sure if it's going to go all the way to berry formation or seed formation, but it was a successful pollination on that plant. Jing's Dark Phoenix, my Meg hybrid from Amanda, this one that I'm super obsessed with. with the really crazy neon veins. I'm hoping King of Spades will bring out more color on it. I'm pretty sure there's Magnificum in King of Spades to begin with, so I feel like it's pretty compatible. There was another one, I can't remember. By the way, I did pollinate tofu with King of Spades and it was producing berries, and then it just decided not to. No reason that was apparent to me at the time. It just decided not to go through with it, which is really sad. Okay, so even though the roots are so skinny, they are like very wiry. I don't know, I feel like I can play it like a guitar. So the moss did come off really easily. There are some dead roots down here. Like these ones look really brown and dry. Yeah, they're dead. They're just coming right off. So I'm gonna just trim that off. But this one will fit into that orchid pot a lot better, I think. But since we're going down there, I feel like I want to maximize everything. Like I'm like, do I make some plant orders or not? Because also I have more Palm Street credits built up. Or since I don't really need more plants right now, should I wait till IS and pick it up from there or something like that? If you watch the Woohoo streams, you probably already know this, but they have a batch of red crystallinum babies that so many of them are variegated, and they're just like little like 2-3 leafers. The variegation is very strong on them. It's not to say that it's just not going to suddenly go green, because that will still happen sometimes, but because there are so many in that batch, it's pretty promising that they will like hold the variegation, or at least like a good amount of them will hold the variegation. Anna was so excited that I was getting into orchids, because I think she's my only friend that collects orchids. I know that Jing was growing the odd orchid here and there, but I don't think she's really that into it, and she's way more into Hoyas. But nobody really cares about orchids in our friend group. But yeah, anyways, I'm trying to keep this all planted above the substrate other than the roots, and I think that will be fine. So that one's done. Add some great white in ya. Last one is the Psychopsis. Whoa. I've also read that Psychopsis in general enjoy tree fern fiber. I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, tree fern is such a magical substrate, and if this thing can grow in moss, it can definitely grow in tree fern. And the roots aren't quite as skinny as the bulbophyllums. If the orchid in question is an epiphyte, basically 90% of my collection are epiphytic plants or hemiepiphytes, but I do own quite a few true epiphytes, for example, Wenlingeri, and I'm going to try to stay away from any orchids that people deem as like fussy ones or finicky ones. I'm only going to stick with easy care ones, I guess, like forgiving ones, because over the last year, as I've been getting rid of a lot of plants, I really want to make sure that my collection works for me and it doesn't dictate my schedule the way it used to when I had more plants. And I feel like even though I've gotten into a rhythm with a lot of my plants and I can just tell if they need water, or I just have this kind of mental countdown or mental clock running in my head of when I last watered something, I also want to be able to like leave and go away for a little bit and not have to worry about 10 million things. We do have 3 dogs we have to find caretakers for while we're gone, you know, things like that. I just want to be a little bit more mobile. But at the end of the day, I think I'm going to work with what I know and then learn through observation of my plants. I think when you're learning to take care of plants, or just like getting your feet wet with a new genus, there's just so much information. Certain rules exist with plant care that aren't necessarily, they're not untrue. For example, if your pot doesn't have drainage, your plant will die. It is a must for all plants to have drainage holes. That's not true, but it's not true, but it's not true. I don't remember if this was on my channel or Charmaine's channel, but one time she was talking about, she used to get a lot of angry comments for planting in no drainage. Weirdly, that has never happened to me, but people would say your plant will die, your roots need to breathe, your plant will suffocate and die, etc., etc. The salt buildup is going to burn them. And she was like, yeah, this rule is so popular, but for the people who are telling people not to plant in no drainage, have they ever tried no drainage? I feel like this one will do fine. Did I say I was going to do this one? Or did I say I was going to do this one? I feel like it looks better in this. I'm going to do this one because there's quite a lot of roots on here. So anyways, all that to say, I've been finding that my best teachers in plant care has always been trial and error. coupled with discussions with my friends. And it's also like stuff that we hear about and learn online. So we like learned a lot from Facebook groups, but I feel like the part that sticks with us the most, or, you know, results in a conversation that leads to us coming up with conclusions of how we can apply certain knowledge to the way we grow plants, is that we hear this thing, we like copy or send the link to our friends, we read the thread, and then we talk about, you know, why that might be the case, how certain growing techniques or products might help, and then we try it out and then we report back. There have been some things that have worked really well, some things that haven't worked really well. I think part of me getting into orchids is they've always intrigued me, and I've always wanted to have some plants in my collection that are grown specifically for blooms. But I think what really intrigued me and intimidates me at the same time is that there's so much to know and it's so diverse that I think that it's kind of good for me to continue learning about something. I think that's been one of the most rewarding parts of this hobby so far, is that like if I look back on the way I was growing plants like 4 years ago, it's so different to how I grow plants now, and it might be that much different again 4 years from now. I think that's been very rewarding, and I think with aroids it has kind of a little bit flatlined for me. Not completely, I'm still learning all the time, but it's not like I'm not really changing my setup and the way I do things constantly. With orchids, I feel like there's an opportunity to inject a little bit more like education into the hobby for me. Anyways, this one is done. Again, I'm gonna do a little bit of great white. And I'm pretty sure there aren't any pests on here. Not that I can see anyway, but I might just spray them down with Captain Jack before I pop them into my cabinet. Right now my cabinet is pest free and I'd love to keep it that way. I don't think they'd have pests. Not that I would get mad at them if there was any pests. Anyways, that's the end of the repotting. I'm just so in awe of this little plant. It's so freaking cute. I wish you guys just could feel it. It feels like hard plastic. Like it's super matte. It feels like a 3D printed plant. I cannot wait to get this to Anna. This one's gonna be hers. I think she's gonna love it. Because when I mentioned to her that I wanted this plant, she was like so excited, and she already knows so much about this plant, where it's native to. It's native to Australia. So I'm gonna pot those 3 that I potted into my Millsville cabinet pretty soon. These 3, I don't really know where I should keep them for now. Maybe I'll just pop them in my cabinet just as is, but not repot them yet. And then this thing, I think it would do best in like a greenhouse environment. But I do want to repot it now that I think of it, because this is like too small of a pot for it to expand and grow horizontally. So I will repot it. I just don't really know if it requires high humidity or not. I literally just bought it and I didn't really look into how to grow it properly, so I'm gonna look into it and then I'll do this probably off camera. But yeah, that is it for today. Sorry, it's been a series of relatively short videos this month. Like I said, I've just been trying to get used to this new schedule with like another job I've taken on. And also selfishly, I wanted today's video to be on the shorter side because my birthday's on Saturday. Video goes up on Sundays. Usually I'm scrambling to finish stuff on Saturday and I don't want to be doing video stuff on Saturday. So brat, I made a shorter video. But over the next few weeks, I have like longer videos planned. I do have one planned. I don't know when it'll be filmed or when it'll go up, but I put up a question box on Instagram if people had questions on my YouTube experience, maybe like practical advice for anyone going to start a channel from someone who's like very not professional about it, what my experience has been, what has worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, what to expect, things like that. If you have any questions to add to that, feel free to leave it in the comments. Another thing I need to tackle is this. This right here is a mess of large leaves. They're all growing into each other. It doesn't look good anymore, so I do need to tackle that. Maybe like move things around downstairs, get rid of some big things, cut some leaves off. I just have a lot of plant chores. All my seedlings are outgrowing the domes. I need to get those potted up and stuff. So hopefully longer videos in the near future. But nonetheless, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a lovely, restful Sunday. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah!